Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolfe.
Well, it was a warm day in the state line today, so warm in fact that we broke a record high for today's date in Rockford, hitting a high temperature of 54 degrees. That broke the old record of 53 degrees that was set back in 1990. We're already a far cry from those afternoon highs, many spots sitting in the upper 30s to right around 40 degrees. 41 now in Rockford, but 38 in Sublette, 37 in Rochelle, also 38 in DeKalb, still holding on to 42 in Freeport, and 41 in Monroe, Wisconsin. Our weather watcher Terry in Genoa reporting 42 degrees for that current temperature, 33 for his dew point, a southerly wind still 18 miles per hour. And that's going to eventually shift around, though. That southerly wind, the main driver for why our temperatures got so warm today, hitting the 50s. But you see that wind direction already starting to flip out to our north and northwest. We see that northwesterly wind as our cold front approaches the region. That will start the big decline in those temperatures as we head through the night tonight. That big polar air mass already starting to show up even on satellite and radar. There is a little bit of precipitation along the leading edge of that cold front, but there's still a lot of dry air, so likely not going to see much in the way of anything reach the ground. Maybe a stray patch of drizzle or maybe a flurry or two as that colder air moves in, but likely many in the state line will remain dry through the night tonight. But we are going to see at least a little bit of an increasing cloud cover along the leading edge of that front, starting to see some of that show up with our Mercy Health SkyTrack camera on the northeast end of Rockford, brought to us by the Javon Bay Mercy Health Hospital. We're going to see at least a little bit more of that cloud cover on the rise through the night tonight in some spots, but the bigger story going to be the drop in those temperatures. You can see just how fast they drop. When you download the First Warn weather app, you can get the hourly forecast as well as the daily forecast there. Our hourly forecast here in Rockford shows those numbers dropping through the 30s, down into the low 20s, and then eventually into the teens as we head into tomorrow. And even going into tomorrow night, those temperatures are going to continue to fall, eventually reaching down into the single digits. So a big drop in those numbers as we head over these next 36 hours. That will also come in the form of our wind chills as well. Wind chills packing quite a punch starting tomorrow night and lasting all the way through the middle of the week. Here's a graph showing where our wind chills could be starting Saturday night, right around that -10 to -15 window. Then Sunday during the day and Sunday night, those wind chills could be around 15 below to even 25 below zero, peaking at that Sunday night window. We don't warm very much for Monday, and then Monday night, again, those wind chills dropping right around 25 below zero. On Tuesday, we'll still be starting to see those climb at least a little bit, but we are going to experience sub-zero wind chills likely starting Saturday night. And those sub-zero wind chills could last all the way into the early part of Wednesday before we finally start to see a little bit of a milder air mass move in. Now we have the cold weather alerts. This is something new that has been replaced with wind chill watches and wind chill warnings. A cold weather advisory in place for some areas not too far away from us, and we may likely see a few of those get extended our direction for some of those time periods early next week. The criteria for a cold weather advisory locally is when those wind chill values reach close to 20 below zero. We are going to see temperatures down in the single digits for a few days, falling through the day tomorrow from 21 to 2 for that overnight low, single digit highs and sub-zero lows for a few days, but then we start to climb back out of that freezer. High temperatures back in the 20s late next week.
Freezer, that's appropriate.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jordan.